Today's Talk About It Tuesday question is buying an existing business a good way to become an entrepreneur? Well, let me say this. That is probably one of the most unknown, underrated, underused, undervalued ways to become an entrepreneur, and it by far could be the easiest way to become successful and to ensure success as an entrepreneur. And despite the lack of knowledge that most people have that you can buy an existing business or that they are available, there are approximately 11 to 12 million small businesses for sale every single year. And most of them stay on the market for over a year because, again, most people don't consider buying an existing business. Most people who want to be entrepreneurs are very ego-driven and want to birth a business from scratch based on their ego and their passion and everything that will make you fail as an entrepreneur. But there are so many significant advantages to buying an existing business, right? So one, it already has a proven record of profitability, or you wouldn't buy it, right? It's shown that it can make money. So buying it means that you don't have to wait for this ramp up for 2 to 3 years to hit break even or become profitable. You step into a profitable business day one. That's a big advantage. Number two, getting financing is way easier for an existing profitable business than you walking into a bank with a business plan and an idea that has no history. The SBA is super easy. I think they make you put 10% down and you can, and they'll finance the rest. Most business owners, about 60% of business owners will do seller financing, which means they'll act as the bank, right? Which means you'll give them a down payment and they'll finance the rest, usually through the profits of the business. Most banks will give you money. Most investors will freely give you money if they can already see a profit and loss statement that's, in the positive. So financing becomes easier. Profitability is instant. You already have a ready-made customer base, right? You already have customers. Of course, you can expand on that, but you already know you have customers. You already have suppliers and, depending on the business, distributors. You have a whole network of people. You have an existing team of employees that are already trained. You have an operating system that you know is successful. Of course, you can modify these things. You can build on these things. You can expand on them. But you're going into it with everything in place. All you have to do is pay for it and step right in. And if you run it the way it's already existed, with the existing customer base, with the existing employees, with the existing suppliers, with all the existing relationships that the other business had, minimally, you're going to have some continuity. But obviously, you can make changes and possibly improve and be even more profitable in a much shorter period of time. What are the disadvantages? Well, you inherit their reputation. So if their reputation wasn't good for some reason, you inherit that. If they had liabilities, which you shouldn't be buying you with liabilities, you inherit their liabilities. But there are so many advantages over starting from scratch and so much more of a likelihood of success than starting from scratch that it should be a no-brainer. So people always say, well, where in the world do I find these millions and millions of businesses? And I'm telling you, businesses in every industry that you can imagine. So whatever your interest is, I'm sure there's a business that's for sale. But where do you find it? Right online. So I actually wrote down a list of places where you can find it. So I'm just going to read the list. BizBuySell.com, BusinessBroker.net, BizQuest.com, BusinessSmart.com, and BusinessForSale.com. Go down the list. Just go down the list and you'll see the listings of businesses for sale, how much they want for the business. But obviously do your due diligence, right? Make sure it's something that you have an understanding of. Make sure you can read their financials. You'll have to, make sure everything that they post is on the up and up and everything that they share with you is on the up and up. But it's really like a no-brainer, right? And I like that even better than a franchise, right? Because at least when you buy it, a franchise you can't change, right? And really you're going to hit a ceiling in terms of how much you can make because you're within the confines of a very strict structure. As opposed to buying a business, you can start playing around with different iterations of the systems and greater customer base and all these other things, and the sky's the limit. So is it a great way to become an entrepreneur? Absolutely. So love this question. If you've ever bought a business or you know someone who's in that process, please share so people can understand the process, the struggles that you even went through. Because of course I made it sound super easy. There are some struggles, of course, like starting any business, but I'd like to hear your comments. Please like, share, subscribe, keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next Tuesday.